Hello, I hope everyone is doing well. Today I decided to make a video discussing gaining some damn confidence. I wanted to make this video because even though I make videos for my audience, I also feel like whether that be subconsciously or consciously, I make videos for myself too. You know, sometimes you have to give advice to get advice, and that's exactly what this video is, basically. I wanted to discuss not only how to gain confidence, but why you're not confident, and how you can transform that insecurity into confidence. Kind of just change your perspective. Because I noticed that confidence is a lot about perspective. You know, I feel like many people think that confidence comes from other people in the sense of, you know, somebody calls you beautiful, so therefore your confidence goes up. But in reality, that is not the truth, which I will get into. However, I did want to mention very briefly that the last time I filmed one of these videos, it was when I was in England, and I felt very on top of the world. I felt really content, really happy, and I didn't have, I had friends, but I didn't have any romantic partners. I didn't have really much reason to feel so crazy happy. And, it could have been because of my environment. However, my hair. However, I do think that it was mainly me who made myself feel confident and okay with being independent and alone. And basically, this video is just going to tell you how to gain that independence back and not be concerned on how others view you and how that can affect your confidence. So without further ado, let's get into it, because I have filmed this video once and the audio was fucking ass. So we're going to start this again, basically. So first of all, the first question you want to ask yourself is, why do you feel insecure? Why are you not confident? Is it because someone did something or said something? Is it because you yourself don't view yourself the way that you should view yourself? You want to ask yourself these questions because I feel like when you ask yourself questions, you will eventually have a reason. And if you won't admit to yourself the reasoning, maybe because it's hard to admit, you're going to have a reason anyways. And if you keep asking yourself after you answer that why question, you will eventually get to the root of the problem. And what I mean by this is, if I ask myself, well, why am I feeling insecure? Because I don't view myself the way I want to. Well, why aren't you viewing yourself the way you want to? Because other people aren't validating me, in the sense of like, if in this case I would be kind of depending my confidence on other people, which, by the way, is not good. You should not be doing that. But ultimately, what I'm trying to say is, if you keep asking yourself these questions, you will get an answer, and ultimately you will figure out the reason to why you aren't feeling confident, why you aren't feeling, the way you want to feel. I feel like a lot of people forget that confidence isn't just about looks. The thing is, confidence comes from within. So regardless of if somebody calls you beautiful or says that you did a great job on a certain project, or, says, oh my God, you're so funny, compliments your personality, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, no matter what someone says, you should still have confidence, whether that be negative or positive. Of course, if someone says something positive, it's going to boost your self-esteem, boost your confidence. However, if someone says something negative, that should not lower your self-esteem, lower your self-confidence. And that's because you need to be confident within yourself. I think a lot of people think that confidence is because you are getting acknowledged by other people of what you are proud of or what you have worked hard on. And in reality, it matters about you. Now, if you're not confident because of a certain thing, a certain habit that you have, a certain look that you have, a certain personality trait that you have, then fix it. Sometimes I'm really self-conscious about my skin. And even though that's something that I've been working on for a while, I'm still going into my mirror when I wake up in the morning with fucking booger eyes, and I keep telling myself I am beautiful, I am radiant. People feel that positive energy when they talk to me, when they pass by me. Sometimes you do have to fake it till you make it. Sometimes you do have to go up to your mirror, tell yourself these affirmations so that you can eventually feel this way, because whether you believe in energy or not, but I'm going to bring it up anyways, the universe, God, doesn't know. I'm going to say the universe. The universe only knows energy. It does not know words, okay? So when you're telling yourself either mentally or verbally or physically that you don't like a certain trait about yourself, that has negative energy. So therefore, you are not going to get what you want. You're not going to get that confidence, that, those high vibrational people that you want to attract into your life, whether that be relationships, friendships, etc. You're not going to get that unless you're radiating this positive energy. Therefore, if you're telling yourself these positive affirmations in the morning, regardless of if you believe them, eventually your brain is going to believe that. Eventually the universe is going to see that you are saying these positive energy affirmations to yourself, and therefore, like I said, your brain is going to realize that, okay, these are positive energy things. Therefore, you're now starting to get at a higher vibrational state and going to attract these high vibrational things that you want in your life. So therefore, all this faking of affirmations that you've been telling yourself are eventually going to become real. I know that some people who aren't spiritual like that might disagree or might not understand that, but even if I put it in the perspective of God, a perfect way to describe what I'm trying to say is, if you want this confidence, if you want this positivity in your life from within, you need to be aware of the things that you already have. God is not going to gift you amazing things in your life if you aren't already aware of the amazing things that He has already given you. The same with the universe. If you are not showing your gratitude, whether that be, the roof that you have over the head, or the job that you have, or the fact that you are breathing, if you don't show your gratitude and just be present for a moment, and, even if you're feeling a little down in the dumps, just take a step back and say, okay, even though this is really shitty, I need to be grateful that I have X, Y, and Z. If you do that, universe, God is going to say, okay, I'm throwing these curveballs at this person, though they're still trying to be positive. So here you go. Here's a gift. Thank you for dealing with that. I see that you've evolved. I see that you are no longer taking that negativity and making it more negative. You're trying to take that negative energy and turn it into something positive. Here's a gift. That's literally how it works. You could tell me that you disagree. You could tell me X, Y, and Z. But I really think that is what has helped me. I have manifested many things in my life, and without going on a tangent about manifestation, which I can make another soft-spoken video about if you would like, I have seen miracles happen because of that. But back to what I was saying about confidence. It's so important for you to show your gratitude towards the universe or God, whatever you believe in, because once you do that, it will change the external things that you're seeing in your reality. I think a lot of people, when they think of confidence, they think that it has to do with external factors. You cannot be codependent on other things in your life, because if those external factors change into something negative, you're going to start feeling shitty on the inside. And why would you want those external factors to be the reason you feel happy or you feel sad? You know what I mean? I feel like it's so important for you to have a happy environment, have great people in your life, have, great hobbies. If you want to fix something about yourself, if you notice that you are so consumed by social media and that is what makes you feel less confident, then start up a new hobby. Hang out with friends that make you happy, that lift your energy, not ones that drain it. If you have people that drain your energy, get them fucking out of your life. Why are they in your life? You should have people that benefit you. And I know that may seem vain, but what I mean by benefiting is you should be able to have a friendship where you feel uplifted and you uplift them. If it is a constant competition with your friends, or you feel down in the dumps, or they make you feel like shit, why are you friends with them? Get them fucking out of your life. If you're nervous that they will react badly, then explain to them. Be like, you do not serve me anymore. You're not nice. I have tried. I don't feel the need to be in this friendship. And sometimes if you get rid of shitty people in your life and you notice that you're all by yourself, that just is the perfect meaning of taking time, adding new hobbies into your life. If you want to learn how to have a better skincare routine for yourself, do research. If you want to learn to skateboard. If you want to paint more. Go on nature walks. I am such a big advocate for those going on nature walks. It is such a great thing to do if you want to get a breath of fresh air and really connect yourself to the universe and God, because you are in this state of thinking only in the present time, and you're so consumed by external factors all the time that when you're in nature without being on your phone and all of that, it's like a break. It's like a pause for a minute. It's like everything in your life is frozen and you just take a second to really spend time with yourself. But anyways, what I'm trying to get at here is external factors should not be the reason you feel confident. They shouldn't. If you are in a relationship, I have a friend, perfect anecdote that I can share. Unfortunately, she's still in this relationship. However, she has this boyfriend who does not treat her the way she should be treated. He does not listen when she feels neglected. He makes her feel terrible. He gaslights her. He is not the best. I don't know if he's ever been unfaithful, but again, it's none of my business on that spectrum. But she does tell us some of the stuff that she has endured with him. And, I can tell that she doesn't deserve it, of course. However, she is so codependent on how he treats her that her mood fluctuates with how he treats her. If he treats her, lovingly, she feels happy and on cloud nine. And when he isn't talking to her often, she feels mega depressed. And I mean the type of depressed that you and your friends would be concerned about. And while me and a few other friends of mine have told her, this is probably not the best, unfortunately, it is up to her to make that decision of what she deserves. And unfortunately, I don't think she has come to the realization of what she should do and what's best for her. I know it sucks because sometimes people don't want to be alone. Sometimes people want the feeling of being loved, but I think that if you're feeling loved and then neglected, it's like you're getting whiplash. And why would you want to feel whiplash? Why wouldn't you want that consistency? It's okay if one day your partner's off, but ultimately, should they stop loving you and reassuring you? No. And that's exactly what's happened for her. And therefore, she is so codependent on his behavior that her confidence is not very high. And the thing is, I feel like people don't realize that other people can sense energy whether they themselves realize it or not. Have you ever noticed that when you're feeling shitty things are attracted into your life? When you're feeling on cloud nine, great things are happening in your life? You could call it a coincidence, but in my opinion, I feel like that's literally just the law of attraction being an example, being shown as an example. I mean, when I am feeling confident and know my worth of I am beautiful, I am worth the utmost best type of love in my life, great people come into my life. When you are living in a life of lack, you are not going to get the best. When you're living in a life of abundance and knowing that you deserve great things, you are going to get abundance. And while sometimes when you're trying to live in a life of abundance, things may take a little bit more time, you might be a little bit more lonely, you're not going to get the bare fucking minimum. That's the difference. When you're living in a life of lack, you're just picking the first thing that comes your way. And that's not necessarily the best thing. If you're living in a life of abundance, people are going to notice that. Great people are going to come into your life and they're going to notice that confidence. They're going to be like, wow, I really like your aura. I really like what you're radiating. Whether they believe it or not, whether they see that or not, they're going to really want to be with you all the time because your energy is so high. When you're living low on a low vibration, nobody wants to be around that. And that's a perfect example as well as to the codependency thing. If you have started a relationship and you're with someone and at this time you are feeling very highly confident and you are feeling, very independent and by yourself, and then eventually you started to, rely more on this person, want this person's attention more, you didn't have your own independent hobbies and you were basically having your partner consume your life, were you able to notice the fact that maybe during this time your partner kind of started becoming more distant? It's because you were feeling and you were in a life of lack. You felt like you had to be around this person all the time because you were lacking the person's attention, or maybe you were lacking the person's, just presence. But you have to have your own independent life. I know that I'm talking about relationships and friendships right now, but ultimately it all boils down to being confident in yourself before you have these relationships, friendships, and whatnot. Because if you are confident in yourself first, great people are going to come into your life. And if you stay confident and independent, these people are going to stay in your life. And it's hard sometimes because you have to realize that you kind of have to detach from certain things, but that's the beauty of it, I think. If you realize that you have to detach from certain things in order to keep these great things in your life, I think that, people realize that when you are aware that something may not last forever, you just have to cherish it. Don't, suffocate this person or this thing because you're scared of losing it. No, if this thing is lost, that is okay, because there's probably something better out there for you. Everything happens for a reason. That is something that I feel everyone should agree on. Even if something very shitty happens in your life, which I apologize if it has affected you in a crazy way or like a very detrimental way. However, You have to realize that experiences occur so that you can grow as an individual. And, I just think that ultimately, if you are okay with being by yourself, if you are aware that you are beautiful without anybody else telling you that, that is how you're very confident. If you can look in yourself in the mirror and see the beauty, and maybe at first you don't see the beauty, but you tell yourself you are beautiful, and you consistently tell yourself that, first of all, you're going to eventually believe it. That's number one. And number two, if you eventually believe it, when you eventually believe it, if somebody comes up to you and says something fucking rude, or like, let's say it's rude, but it's not that, effective to you. Maybe it's something really clever or really creative in a fucked up sense, If they say things to you like that, but you don't react and you remember to yourself, no, I'm beautiful. Whatever that fucker had to say, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. Because I know I'm beautiful. I know that I'm confident. I know that I'm worthy. Whatever that person said, that they're just negative. Chances are they're just insecure themselves and feel the need to say something rude to you because they're insecure and they're jealous. They're envious. That literally is it. If you try to spread positivity yourself and you are aware of the things that you want to fix in your life and you start to fix them, whether that be a certain reaction you have towards something that someone says or something that someone does, and you try to fix that, the universe is going to be aware that you're trying to fix it. And eventually, once you do fix it and you're up here versus down here, you're going to receive up here gifts. You're going to receive up here experiences. I know that I'm really rambling, but I hope that I am making sense. You are in control of your confidence, and the way that you see yourself is more important than anything. If someone says something fucked up to you, they're jealous, they're insecure. Why the fuck would you care about what someone else says? If they feel the need to be negative, they clearly have something going on in their life. Because it's one thing to think something, but it's another thing to actually open your mouth and feel the need to say something. I feel like sometimes, people will think certain things, and even when they do think negative things, there's a difference between thinking something negatively and then just going about your day, and then also thinking negatively, but then being aware that you said something negative and questioning why you said it or why you thought that, and then trying to fix that. That's the difference too. I feel like sometimes, we still have like pent up wiring, negative wiring that we have to fix, depending on how we were raised or how we grew up or how our thought process is. But I hope that this video helped. I think, we're human. We're not always going to be confident. There will be days where we are not that confident in ourselves, and that's okay. That's okay. Your life is not linear, It's okay to feel down sometimes, and it's okay to feel it too. Don't think that because you're feeling down, you need to feel up again. It's okay, feel what you're feeling, but just ultimately know that you're still beautiful, you are still confident, and that is just an off day. And when I say beautiful, by the way, I am referring to beauty not as a physical thing, but as a general thing. So yeah. Anyways, again, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see a manifestation soft-spoken video, let me know. I am so down to doing that. This one was kind of from my heart. I originally wrote notes, but I figured that shit was going to confuse the fuck out of me. So I figured, let me just speak my shit. And that's exactly what I did. So I hope it was helpful. I hope it wasn't too confusing. And remember, you are beautiful. You can start gaining that confidence. Just think of things that you want to fix. And eventually you will, if you put in the work and you do it for yourself and not for anybody fucking else, you will get to where you want to be. I love you all. Bye-bye.